So this is replacing the pollen filter on the Skoda Octavia Mark III. This is a 2014 model, and on right-hand drive cars it's underneath the glove box, which is a lovely place to get to it. So it's actually just up in there. You can just about see it. Oh, there it is, look. So there it is, just in behind. So we need to get the glove box door out, or the bin that needs to be removed, and it's not the easiest of jobs. And the Skoda recommend jamming a screwdriver in here and then levering this panel off, which gives you access to the hardest part, which is this little mechanism in here. I don't know if you can see that. It's the damper. So there it is. Ooh, missed it. There we go. So that's the little damper there, and that just hooks on to a little post, as you can see, and that gives you your damping effect. Now you can't remove it from here, sadly, because it would be lovely if you could just twist that and turn it. You can't. So the way I found, which is the best way, is to pull the box up first. So I'll show you underneath. So underneath you've got, just here, you've got some little tabs or little kind of hinges, and they just rest in. So it feels a little bit unnatural to do it, but I'm going to pull up from underneath. So let's see if I can put you somewhere where you can see me. Okay, so we're going to give this a go. So I'm going to kind of just pull up from the bottom, and you just got to kind of feel where these hinges are. So I basically pulled it up in this direction here from this side first, and then I pulled it from there, and then you kind of get a bit of a loose feel, and eventually you'll notice it's now loose. So then I'm going to drop it down, and this is where you need to be careful with the little tab here. Right, so here's the little tab in detail, and when we take it apart you'll have a better look at that. So there it is, just in there. Quite difficult to illuminate. There we go, right, you can see it there. So there's your damper, and it's hooking onto this post here. It just basically looks like a claw. So as you can see underneath here, these tabs, they go underneath here. So when you slide the box down, you can move them. Same with that side. So let's bring the box down. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that little leg off there so that we don't damage it. So I'm just going to put my finger underneath, just so you can see that. There we go. And then we're free. So let me show you how that works, because it's a lot easier. So if you imagine the glove box lid is on now, that's basically how it sits on. So you can see it can freely move up and down, and this is your dampening effect here. So it slides up and down. So it's easy to push in, but there's resistance when you pull back. So what you need to do is you need to release the bottom hinges here. You need to pull them off these, 1, 2, by pulling the whole lid upwards. And then once you've done that, you can reach enough, get your hand in underneath this, and just pop it up like that. So you can see there's the clip. You need to be fairly careful, you wouldn't want to twist it, but that just hangs onto there like that. It just pushes on. So getting it back is the fun bit, because you've got to try and do this with the glove box in situ. Now, the Skoda manual recommends pulling this off, and in doing so you have a little window here which allows you to get a screwdriver in and pop this on or take it off. Now I thought that's fair enough. What you might have is a situation where the screwdriver breaks the tab, or I don't know, something happens, so I decided to do it without it. I also didn't want to scratch this too much by pulling it off. But anyway, that's basically how how it works. So if I just pop these back on, you'll see how they work. So you can see, there we go, it hooks on, and what you have to do is you have to pop them off by pulling the glove box up slightly, and you've got enough room underneath here to slide that box up. You can't do anything with these because they're solid. As you can see, there's the rubber dampers which allow you to open it, and it's got a nice damped feel. Let's have a quick look at this thing. So this is your damper, and that's how it sits inside. So as you can see, you can slide this. Hang on a second. There we go. So that slides really easily that way. By pushing it backwards, you've got resistance. So there's a little cog in there that gives you your damped opening. And what that does is that just slides into here, which you have to do when you put the glove box back. And you can see that you've got to line up the little key like so, and then get it back to there. And that's how it lives. So normally when you close, it does that, and when you open, it slowly pulls it down. So yeah, there's no other easy way to do that, I don't think. If you're willing to, you can pop that off, and then it might give you some access here to pop that off, but I'd rather do it with finger than a screwdriver and a leverage. But anyway, the whole reason of coming in here is either fuse box or pollen filter. So this is what I'm going to be removing today and replacing. So that's the next bit. Okay, so for removing the pollen filter lid or door, what you have to do for here is a flat bladed screwdriver, and pop that just underneath. I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm trying to get light in as well. There we go. Just pop that underneath there. Separate the two tabs, and by doing so, you can just pull the door towards you. If you've got really strong fingers, you might be able to do that with just fingers, but you can see now there's a gap here, and I've just kind of pulled the bottom bit out. Same for the next one. So you can see now there's a gap. Lastly for this one. And now our door is loose. And it hinges down to that sort of position. And then you can lift it away. So there's the tabs, look. And they go into those. So fairly straightforward. So there it is. Valio. It's dated 2016. And airflow, look, points down. So airflow is obviously coming in that direction. So just remember that when you put it back. Let's remove it. And there it is. It's not too bad, actually. I guess if it was done in 2016, it's only had a couple of years. So there's your housing. Here's the part number, should you want the official one. 5Q0819653. So let's get the OEM one in. Remembering the arrow points down. Okay, there we go. That's it sits in there nicely. Let's get the lid on, like so. Push to close, and then all the tabs should just seal down like that. So that's pollen filter replaced. Let's get the glove box back. Okay, so make sure your little damper arm is fully extended, so if it's pushed in like that, get it fully out, give it a good old pull. Yeah, fully extended, there we go. And then I think we're going to try and get the glove box in as best position as possible, probably by pushing it up as far as you can go, leaving these hinges kind of floating in there for the minute. But before we put it back together, we're going to clip this in. We're going to clip the damper in. That's really one of the things that's the most difficult. So I'm going to position you again, and then we'll watch me struggle to do this. So in at the top first, and kind of push it in, and then you need to get your little arm to click over, and then can you get the finger in? Sounds rude. Yes, we can. So in at the top, as you saw, then get the hinges just resting. Don't push them fully in. So they're just kind of resting on these areas now on the pins. And then before you fully go in, now is the time when you can push that little arm back onto the pin there. So I'm going to do that, and it will only work if it's fully extended. Look at that, can't quite reach, so I'm going to have to come in. There we go. So yeah, put your hand in the top there, you got just about enough gap. Push in, and you heard the click. You can just about see that little arm there, if I can get the torch in. It's now in its position. So next thing will be pushing down on the glove box. Okay, so you've got that in. Let's push it down on its hinge pins now. One. And hopefully done. Still works. So that's it. Way harder than it should be, just for a pollen filter. Of course, the Mark II had it underneath, which was easy. There we go. That's what they've done.